Jai Gurudev children, today we are going to start first chapter from First Flight, that is A Letter to God. The story A Letter to God by G.L. Fuentes depicts unflinching faith of a farmer in God. It begins with a farmer named Lencho anticipating for a rain shower to grow his field of corn. He is very much sure that his harvest is going to produce him huge profits just like it does every year. To his utmost excitement, rainfall did happen, but sooner it turned into a hailstorm, destroying his entire crop field. The destruction posed a threat to the family's survival as their entire livelihood was dependent on the year's produce. Although disheartened, the family had robust faith in the Almighty. Lencho, despite having worked day and night at the field, knew how to write and thus decided to write a letter to God explaining his situation and asking for help. He went to town to post his letter addressed to God. The letter, on being noticed by the postmaster, at first amused him, but then motivated him want to do something for the farmer so as to keep his immense belief intact. He contributes from his salary and collects money from his colleagues and friends who willingly contributed for an act of charity. To his disappointment, he could only collect 70 pesos, which he wrapped in an envelope to make it seem like a reply from the deity. On having found the letter, the writer is not at all shocked. Writer here is Lencho, but instead he gets angry on finding that amount is less than what he had expected. He again writes to God, conveying his dismay and distrust in the employees of the post office who he thought had stolen the remaining amount. Talking about author, G.L. Fuentes was born on July 11 in the Canary Islands. He first went to sea as a deck boy with his father at the age of 10. As a teenager, Fuentes worked on cargo ships that went out of the Canary Islands to Trinidad and Puerto Rico. He also sailed to the Spanish parts of Valencia and Sevilla to South America. He migrated permanently to Cuba at the age of 22. Fuentes, a lifelong cigar smoker, died from cancer in 2002 at the age of 105 years. Now, para-wise explanation. Lencho the farmer lived on the only house that was near on the top of a hill. The hill was low-heighted, from where a river and a ready-to-harvest cornfield was visible. The field belonged to Lencho, and he had the utmost confidence that the harvest would reap great profits. The only thing that he awaited was rainfall. In this hope, he spent an entire morning gazing at the sky in the northeast direction, from where a drizzle was expected to shower on his field. The man, while looking at the sky, confidently tells his wife that they are going to have a rain shower, to which the lady replies by saying, "Only if everything happens as they hope and expect." Their elder children were working at the field and the younger ones were playing near the house when Lencho's wife calls everyone for dinner. It is during that time drops of rain begin to fall, hereby proving the farmer's prediction to be true. The wind was pleasant and clouds could be seen approaching from the northeast sky. Lencho goes out of the house to take pleasure in feeling the droplets on his body. He refers to the drizzle as coins, large droplets being equivalent to 10 cents and the smaller ones 5 cents. He says so because these raindrops would ensure a good crop which would eventually get them a lot of money. With a satisfied on seeing everything go as expected, On seeing Everything go as expected. Lencho reflected upon the field and the flowers covered with droplets which seemed as if they were wrapped in a curtain. Unexpectedly strong wind started blowing, leading to a hailstorm. Satirically, the writer refers to these pallets of frozen grain as new silver coins. The innocent boys became playful and went out in the rain to play and collect these hailstones, which looked like frozen pearls. The farmer now starts worrying and hopes that the storm gets over quickly, which, to his utmost disappointment, didn't. The hailstones covered the entire valley, including the house, garden, hillside, and the cornfield. It made everything look so white that it seemed as it was covered in salt. Lencho became stressed and disappointed as everything was against the plan. The trees had shed their corns were smashed, and the flowers had also fallen from their plants. While standing in the withered fields, he conveyed his dismay and sorrow to his sons by commenting that the effect of the storm proved to be worse than that of crop-destroying insects. All their hard work had gone in vain. He felt helpless, as no corn had been left, and feared that they might have to starve this time. Even after everything had gone southwards, the family still had hope in their hearts of hearts. They had faith in the Almighty even after nothing was left. They gave each other support and recalled a saying which assures that no one ever dies of starvation. Lencho spent his entire night thinking of the only option left, and that was to seek the help of God, who he had been informed has its eyes and ears everywhere. He thought of writing a letter to God conveying his grievances. Despite spending all these years working at the farm, he still knew how to write. He started writing on the Sunday morning and thought of mailing it himself by going to the town. In his letter to God, he communicated his poverty-stricken situation and mentioned that he needed 100 pesos to regenerate the crops along with surviving until they are ready to harvest. On the envelope he wrote to God, then at the post office placed stamp on the letter and dropped it in the mailbox. A postman who was also an employee of the post office noticed Lencho's letter and showed it to the postmaster. They both felt amused, but the postmaster, fat and friendly, immediately developed a sense of seriousness. He was astounded at the amount of faith Lencho has in God and wished he had the same. With good intentions, the postmaster read the letter and thought of replying to it so as to keep the writer's belief intact. But the writer expected the reply in a different way that could not be fulfilled with pen, paper, and morals. The farmer had demanded for 100 pesos. The postmaster, along with his colleagues and a few friends who were more than willing to donate for a good cause, collected a pool of money to help Lencho. It was impossible for him to gather the 100 pesos, so he was able to send the farmer only a little more than half. He put the money in an envelope addressed to Lencho, and with it a letter containing only a single word as a signature, God. Means, despite his best efforts, he was only able to collect an amount not more than half of what was required. He then addressed it to Lencho along with a letter which was undersigned by God. Next Sunday, Lencho came looking for the reply to a bit earlier than expected. The postman handed him the letter, waiting to see him joyful and surprised, while the postmaster, feeling satisfied, oversaw it from his office. On the contrary, the farmer got disheartened on seeing that the money was less than what he asked for. His faith is still undeterred, and he believed that God cannot make such a mistake. On being disappointed, he started looking for ink and paper to write a letter to God again. While writing, his eyebrows got curled out of the concentration with which he was drafting a new request. On completing, he affixed it with a stamp. As soon as he dropped it into the mailbox, the postmaster took it out to read it. Lencho complained that he had only received 70 pesos and he is really in need of the remaining amount. He doubted the integrity and honesty of the post office employees and suggested that the money should not be sent via post because he doubted that the staff at the post office must have stolen the missing amount. Now, talking about the other aspects of the chapter, A Letter to God, let us speak on, first of all, theme of the story. This is a story of a hardworking person, Lencho. He is expecting a good harvest this year if it rains. The rain does come bringing brief happiness. However, a hailstorm follows the rain, destroying all his crops. Being deeply hurt, he looks toward God. Having an unshaken faith in God, he writes a letter to him, demanding 100 pesos. This amount is sufficient enough to sow his crop again. He posts it. The postman was a hearty laugh when he reads it and shows it to the postmaster. The postmaster, being a generous man, decides to help Lencho. He gives a part of his salary and collects money from the employees. He sends 70 pesos to Lencho. Lencho's happiness was momentary when he counts the money. God can't deceive him. It is a work of post office employees. He writes another letter to God asking him not to send the remaining 30 pesos by mail, as post office employees are a bunch of crooks. The lesson shows three things. It shows Lencho's firm faith in God. His faith is rewarded through the helpers are human beings. Secondly, it shows the utter innocence of the farmer Lencho. Thirdly, the lesson gives a message that sometimes even your generosity is not recognized. You may not get credit for your generosity and kindness, but on the other hand, you may be misunderstood as a bunch of crooks. The other aspect of the story is characters. First main character is Lencho, who was a man of limited means and earned his living by farming his fields. He had an unshaken faith in God. He believed that God always helps people with a clear conscience. Therefore, when he lost all hopes and he and his family were on the verge of starvation, he looked towards God for help. His deep faith in God even impressed the postmaster, who decided to help him. He was a little educated to write a letter. He shows his innocence by trying to have a correspondence with God directly. While he had an unshaken faith in God, he mistrusted easily the motives of men. He could never know, and nor did he ever try to know, who had sent him these 70 pesos to help him. It is quite ironical that he abused his helpers by calling them a bunch of crooks. Next, postmaster. The postmaster has all that is good in human thinking and behavior. He has a thorough understanding of a sharp, sympathetic, and sensitive mind. He knows how the mind of a God-fearing rustic like Lencho works. He doesn't want to break the deep faith of Lencho in God. First, he laughed at the man who wanted to have a direct correspondence with God. After reading the letter, he was deeply moved and impressed by Lencho's faith in God. He knew that merely goodwill was not sufficient. The farmer needed financial help, so he collected a sum of 70 pesos from his employees, and he also contributed a part of his salary and sent the money to Lencho. And the third one, the post office employees. The post office employees make every effort to help Lencho. They believed that only an innocent and foolish farmer can write a letter to God. They were considerate and full of compassion. They wondered at the faith of man who wrote that letter, but they contributed something for an act of charity. They couldn't collect the 100 pesos but sent only 70 pesos to Lencho. Only a single word was written as a signature, God.